right, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to another episode of Live with Jeff,
Alarm.
Johnny, and
Yokneam Elite
Lee.
Industrial Zone. Kfar Manda.
Israel is getting
Moreshet,
hammered right now
Kokab.
and has been all afternoon. And we're going to be talking about Iran, and we're going to be talking about what's going on in Russia. So, Jeff, Johnny, how are you gentlemen today?
Good.
Okay.
It's a nice oil depot you got there. It'd be a shame if something
Is that
would happen to it.
footage from Israel?
No.
No, this is Osluga about 3 hours ago.
Yeah. My favorite place. Oh, my God.
All right. So we're going to do it that way.
Are you kidding me?
You're going to do it that way. All right. So.
Are you kidding me? And it's not.
All right. So let's just kill it and reconvene the way we did it last week. That's the only thing we're going to have to do. That's the only way we can do it.
Yeah, but I don't have Racer to set that up. Let me see.
He's not.
No, I do not.
I could drop out and you guys could have a Gale time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's I don't understand. It's not
There are certain things that you don't want somebody to say. So.
does it. All right, this is weird. This is all right.
Are these denial of service attacks? Is that what it is?
Yes. Somebody's hitting us right when we start, because you notice we had no problems when
Right,
we were just sitting there.
until we went live.
Until
soon
I
as we
open
went
my
live.
mouth, as soon as I
soon as
asked
we
a
went live.
question,
Yeah.
as soon as my voice was heard.
All right, well, let's try it again. That's what the hell. I mean, we can do it a couple more times, and if it doesn't work, well, I'll create one and send it to you, and then we'll go from
we'll
there
try it.
if we have to.
We'll try it.
It's
Did
not
you
a
cut
matter
it, or
of
we
going to
still live?
Rumble. They're hitting the conference, Ron. They're not
And
hitting
we've
YouTube.
We've changed everything
Right.
as far as we've changed all the addresses and everything. So yeah, they're still hitting it from the other end. So.
How's that work?
These people are pathetic. They're just pathetic.
All right.
The rep that's calling for the, go ahead.
So, am I going to create one and send it to you? See if mine works any
We're going to
better?
have to. We're going to have to, yeah. That's the only thing we can do.
So we're going to get a new link.
Yeah, we're going to get a new link. I'll send it to you.
Wow, they're saying Glenn Beck got hit hard with a DDS attack today also.
Yeah.
I wonder what he was saying.
Yeah, I don't know. We should go check that out.
He's been going on. He's been doing this big special. Somebody else was telling me about it. He's been doing a big special recently on radical Islam in Iran. So he's been talking about how all the sleeper cells and everything are in the U.S. and the FBI is actually, with the investigation team that he's got working with him, they've actually had to bring in the FBI.
So he's saying the same thing we are.
Pretty much, yeah. So
They're going to attack the homeland.
Yeah, and he's exposing that, and he's found part of their networks, and so that's what's going on with him. So that's I would imagine that these
don't want to do anything in advance to stop the big terrorist attack.
yeah, and I would imagine that these things are all connected. So we're probably being hit with the same attacks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anybody worried about the homeland?
Are you still there, Lee?
Yeah, I'm going through the chat with everything that's
Okay.
everything going in here to see what they have to say here. All right. So where do you guys want to get started at? I mean, it's working right this moment. Let's see what else we can say to piss them off.
Well,
I think I'm sure Jeff has got something that'll shut him down.
I thought we'd be shut down with the oil depots. Yeah, I thought that would be it.
Well, we did get shut down with the oil depots, but we can try that again. I mean, look, this is my favorite oil depot in the world. Do you know why?
Yes, I do. Because I do. Because never mind. You know why. You know why.
So, anyway, this has been a. Well, go in and play in your video again. Let's see if they'll let us play that.
Yeah, hang on. Well, I mean, there's nothing on it other than just
right. I got a video on it too.
Yeah, this was a few hours ago. So I mean, the port was hit yesterday, and it.
What was you say the port was hit yesterday?
Yeah, it was hit yesterday morning, very very late, and it's still. Let me get rid of this one. And it's still burning as of today. This is it. Get rid of me. No one wants to see me.
Now this is taken from the north looking to the south then, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Ukrainians did a great job.
Yeah, you see down there.
They're not done yet.
Yeah, down here, this is the south end. So down there, there's other things down there.
Yeah.
So this is the north end up here. And they were able to get the docks out, all these docks.
Not broadcasting, or we are.
Dude, I'm broadcasting and oh fuck. I'm broadcasting and everybody can see what's happening. Everybody can see that they're kicking me out. Everybody can see that the more we talk about this, the more they cut us off.
So what can we talk about? I mean, that's
obviously this isn't one of the things, but we need to finish. So
well, I don't. If I say anything, then that's if I can't show what's going on, I can't say what's going on.
Well, I'm going to show you this. This is Black Cat over north of Venezuela and Colombia. Black Cat 6, and by the way, it was down there yesterday, and we blew up a drug boat down there yesterday.
Why is that down there? I mean, we've got. Is that Colombia?
Yeah, Colombia over here, Venezuela here.
Okay, so it's there. Well, it's not going to go to Venezuela because that's our business partner now, right?
Well, no, but it did. It flew across and circled over here northwest of Trinidad and Tobago for a while, and then went home yesterday. Today he's making real small loops.
Trump wasn't getting a piece of that drug boat, so they blew it up.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
He and the Ayatollah are going to collect tolls for people going through the Strait of Hormuz if he can just get the Ayatollah to agree.
Yeah.
The tolls are a thing now. Jeff, did you hear that Spain has been given safe passage for tankers? through the
Well,
Strait
yeah,
of Hormuz.
because they rejected Trump and they have a socialist government. Of course they get through.
Yeah, Pedro Sanchez. Yeah,
Yeah,
because of
Mr.
that.
Pedro, man, yeah.
The Iranians even printed up stickers of
Mm-hmm.
Pedro saying thank you, putting them on the side of missiles before they launched them.
We know remember, we live in the era of the war between socialism and capitalism.
That's right.
And the Iranians are quite well aware. They're on board with the socialist camp. And you know,
Did we
Putin
get-
just said in a forum, he said that it's great. Iran deserves to have nuclear energy because they need it so much, you know, because they don't have any oil, right? So they need nuclear energy.
The International Atomic Energy Association, I believe. Let me double check.
International
Yeah.
Energy Agency, IAEA, yes.
Yeah, IAEA. Okay, so the Director General just said about 20 minutes ago that there's been damage to that reactor, and they're afraid that it's going to go critical and there could be a meltdown.
Which
from the
reactor?
damage that Bushehr or whatever it is, the one in Iran.
Oh, the one that they've been making the weapons grade uranium in?
Yeah, and the Russians have pulled their personnel out of it.
What a shame.
It's going to go
Yeah.
critical. Now, a
I
nuclear
guess they
power.
didn't like that.
They didn't like that.
No, they didn't like that. They'll like it when they're impeaching Trump, though. They'll love that. That'll be a
Right,
major.
right.
Oh, yeah,
you can
that's
probably
okay.
talking shit
That's
about
fine.
Trump all day, and they'll never kick me out then.
But they'll do it now because they want to make sure the Republicans don't impeach him first, so we
Right.
end up with a.
Well, this is not okay. So it's not just an attack. All right, so we were thinking it was just you, Jeff. But when I say stuff too, then that happens at the same time.
Sure.
Even when you don't talk.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the thing is that there's the different chemistry when we're all three of us here. They don't want this interaction here. They don't want this gestalt here that we've got.
No.
They don't
Take
want
as
the
much
synergy. They don't want the
no,
synergy.
of course not. No, It's-
I hate
you
that
take the
word.
most flack when you're
Well,
over the target.
look, we'll get it one way or the other. I can do other private servers too. This ain't the only one. So if this keeps up, we'll just go to another one. And I could also go in encrypted, and then they can't fuck with it at all.
Well, that's what we did last week.
Oh,
So there's nothing for him to hit.
Yeah.
So
well, that's good.
yeah.
That's a important.
Anyway, so yeah, so they're afraid that reactor might go critical. We were doing airstrikes near it, I guess, and it hit something. I'm not exactly sure. But yes, that's a problem.
Interesting.
So you were asking about the IL-96 that landed in JFK last night from the Russian Special Flight Squadron. So there was a delegation of Russian parliament members on it.
For the UN? For the UN?
No, not for the UN. They're there to meet with U.S. Congress members.
Really?
Yes. And some of them are former Communist Party members. This has been floating around on X all day. And they've been invited to the U.S. Congress for meetings by Representative, what's her name? Anna Paulina Luna. Does that name mean anything to you, Jeff?
Isn't she the Ukrainian?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's been hanging around with the Russians, and she's got that committee that does oversight and looking at the UFO UAP stuff.
Yeah. She's been meeting with, what's his name? Kuryliev or whatever his name is, Dmitry Kuryliev.
Yeah.
The head. Yeah, she's been meeting with him. He gave her a box of Putin chocolates, if you remember that.
Yeah, they were very chummy. She doesn't seem to be very knowledgeable, and she seems susceptible to me. It's not good.
So, well, they're there. They landed last night. It was very quiet, but that's what happened there. So let me get this straight. We can't talk about the attacks that have taken place. Can we talk about the one at the northern port? Can we talk about that?
Probably.
Okay. Do you have a map up? Right. So this is the northern port. Okay. You and I talked about this on Monday.
Yes.
Right. So this one, and this one's still burning too. There were fires that they just can't contain, and it continues to burn and have small explosions in other areas. Same thing with the one down at Osluga. They can't seem to contain it. They can't seem to keep the fire brigades in the right places at the right time, and they just have these small little combustions everywhere else, and it just erupts into a larger fire. So I was reading some statistics. I was reading into this last night. Altogether, so if we take these two ports here, if we take the Black Sea, if we take the other ports that the Ukrainians have hit down in and around Crimea, then the Russians have suffered at least a 40% decline in their oil exports since this all began. I'd say that's a pretty significant hit, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, given that their current oil prices, they're able to make about $10 billion a week. That'd be $4 billion a week.
Yeah. Last month, given the startups, I was actually at the startup of the Middle Eastern conflict. So last month, they altogether in the last, I think, 3.5 weeks, they've made $25.5 billion just in oil exports. So, but now that this is out of commission, these two ports, by the way, so this port at Primorsk and the one at Osluga, these are shut down now because they can't contain them. So there's not going to be any loading here. So yeah, that one there and that one up there. That's just beyond annoying.
It dropped again, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an automatic thing. They've assigned a whole building of phones. One of those, maybe a couple buildings just to take us down at this hour.
Lee, if you're talking, you're muted.
No. I was just looking at the.
The take to jam up a city, it's got to be a huge number, doesn't it?
They don't use the phones to do that. So if there's a denial of service, then they'll have a whole bunch of computers interlinked in a server rack, and they'll just target everything all at once. So they'll create millions of fake accounts and just overload the system.
So this takes a state actor to do this.
Yes. Yeah. Or you can, well,
Private citizen can't do it.
You can, but you're going to have to really know what you're doing, and you're going to have to have a whole lot of hardware and a lot of money to do it. Put that kind of operation together. So
it's expensive.
It's very expensive. So the people that are probably doing this are sitting in a 2-story office complex somewhere in Moscow, would be my guess, or outside of St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
We'll go to something that's more secure, and they won't be able to do it. Or we can, like I said, we can turn on the encryption here. Or we can switch from your server over to mine. It does say on my end, though, it says I'm kicked by Johnny on the screen when it kicks me.
Well, it does that. It does that because I have to. I do that only when you come back in. When you rejoin, I have to get rid of the old one.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So I can tell you whoever's doing it is. My guess is that they're messing with me because they're messing with my pins on screen. So, because every time I try to keep your screen up, Lee, then it kicks me off of it.
But if I wasn't here, it wouldn't happen. Could it be they're somehow doing it through my computer?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Is that possible?
It's entirely possible. I don't know.
That doesn't happen on
Yeah,
my
and
other show.
my people have looked at it, and we can't find anything on our end that would say that, one, they could do it, or two, that they had. There was no sign of them ever being there or here. So, all right. So this is the facility at the south end.
Yes.
With the tugs pushing the coal haulers in up against the dock. A lot of coal here.
An awful lot of coal there,
And,
especially even further south. There's more coal.
Yeah. Down here, there's more. Down here.
Where do they
Over
do
there.
they ship coal out or do they take it in?
There are no coal-fired plants nearby that I can see. So I would assume that they're bringing it in, because if you look at a lot of these places around there, and also in Kaliningrad, there's a large coal import in Kaliningrad as well. And the reason is because most people still use coal to heat their homes.
Well, East
In Russia.
Prussia, the Germans used coal for heating, and probably a lot of the buildings in Königsberg, a former German city, probably were outfitted before the war with coal heat. That would be my guess.
They, like I said, right here, they don't have any coal-fired plants because they've got a nuclear facility nearby. About 10 miles to the east of here, there's a nuke.
That makes
So-
sense. The coal is for Kaliningrad. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, and the cost, I was actually reading about the cost to get this coal to Kaliningrad is risen year on end. Year on year end has just gone up and up and up.
Why does the cost go up?
I honestly don't know. The Russians are blaming sanctions, but
Sanctions between two Russian ports?
I guess I don't know.
There's
I
no
don't know
sanctions
why that is.
between Leningrad and Kaliningrad.
Well, I think it has to do with the shipping cost that's gone up because of sanctions. Maybe that too. I don't know.
Well,
I
I've
have
lost
no
both
idea.
of y'all's video. There it's back finally. What the hell?
Crazy. Well, we need an alternate plan, or this isn't going to work as a broadcast.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come up with something else. There's another service that I'm experimenting with right now, but it's not online. It's still in beta testing, and it's encrypted. But it's, like I said, it's not ready yet.
All right. Well, it seems to be working right now, but we'll see.
Well,
Or
we're
how
talking
much.
about coal.
Yeah,
We're talking about coal. So, but anyway, this facility here, do we know how far south these fires have gone, Lee?
As far as I know, they're just right in here.
It's just there now, okay.
Yeah.
It was along the dock,
Yeah.
that dock where all the ships are. It was along that
Yeah,
dock.
it was
Did you
up
see the
here
video
and
I
down
sent you?
here, but there's nothing down this far yet or over here.
How much of the stored oil do you think has been knocked out, destroyed?
Probably about 20. My guess is about 20 to 25% from what I've seen, at best.
And so additional drone attacks are needed to finish off the rest, huh?
Well, if they've hit the manifold, they can't get it out. You know, this is what you got to hit. This right here.
How long would it take them to fix that?
A long time. That's the manifold. You know,
Oh, my goodness.
so these manifolds right here is where you want to hit.
Well, did you see that video that I sent you? We're probably going to get kicked when I have it or when I show it. But the video I sent you was that entire dock had flames on it about 200-300 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Well,
Yeah.
once you burst open a tank, it's going to spill on fire everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to run all over the place.
Right, here you go. This is that entire dock. You can see
Were
it.
these
Flip
drones run by pilots or AI? Do you know, Lee?
I think these were AI.
And the range
because of
was
the
quite
distance.
Mm-hmm.
Appears as though they did real well.
Yeah, they did. Look at that. That is, I mean, I can't believe they didn't get the whole thing with the length of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
wouldn't
that's the
everything
dock.
catch fire?
All that is the dock that's on fire there.
If the oil would spill out and wouldn't it set off the other containers if it spilled out all over
Normally
the
there's
place?
supposed to be walls around them to prevent them from doing that.
Oh, okay. All right. So down below at the bottom of these tanks are like pieces of metal that keep the
It's a
fuel from running.
4 foot, 5 foot wall
Okay, that's
supposed-
smart.
that's supposed to take and prevent the oil from one going over into the other. If we zoom in here, that's what these walls are right here.
Nice.
And how tall are those?
Oh, I don't know.
Can they break- can the
couple
heat break
feet-
them down?
Couple feet tall. But they're supposed to be able to, so if this tank is ruptured, the contents of this tank will stay inside of this square even if the tank is full.
So evidently they broke the containment on some of them because to reach the docks, they would have had to break
Well,
the
no,
containment.
if they hit the manifold here, which is all under
Uh-huh.
pressure. So if they hit the manifold there and the manifold here, that's going to spray that shit everywhere.
I see. So it's like a sprinkler system for
Oh,
on fire oil.
Yeah, or if they were to hit here, then it could get it out if they hit the pipes on the outside here.
Does the explosive have to have some kind of incendiary element to do this the right way?
There's with the explosive itself is enough of an incendiary element to get it started
I see.
because
So,
its rapid oxidation of material is so rapid and such a high temperature that it quickly exceeds the flash point of the fuel and fuel around it. So you're starting to get fuel that is already preheated, plus you've got the fire. So
and you
normally
can't really fight this fire with water, can you? You need some other.
yeah,
No.
you got to put this out with foam and either burn it out. I'll stand by a second.
Yeah, there's special chemicals and foam that you have to use to fight these things. I mean, it's just like if you have a grease fire in your kitchen. I mean, that's an oil fire. You're going to put water on it.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't
throw
put
baking soda.
water on oil.
Yeah, they
or
need to be
any kind of
putting
oil.
foam on this, like
Yeah.
fire stopper or something like that.
That's got to be expensive. They've got to have.
yeah.
They've got to
There-
have
and
trucks
when-
and stuff.
When this was on, when all this was going off, when these things hit, and I'm talking 2-3 hours after they hit, and all these things are on fire, and they're still on fire. I didn't see any fire brigades there.
They're letting it burn.
Yeah, I
They
didn't see
evidently
any.
don't
any
have
fire
it. I mean,
brigades.
it's so massive. Where would they get the wherewithal to put out this amount of oil?
They
on
don't,
fire?
right?
Yeah.
You're talking about how many tons of ignited oil?
Are
Each
these
one of those
these
containers.
1 million gallon tanks? Or
Yeah,
no, these are the
yeah.
2
They
million
look like
gallon tanks.
million-gallon tanks to me.
Yeah.
No, these are the 2 millions.
Or two,
The 1
excuse me,
millions are the-
yeah, 2 million. Excuse me, 2 million.
So 2 million
These are-
gallons of oil. So they hit
Yeah.
so they hit 5 tanks. That's 10 million gallons of oil spilled on fire. Yeah, you're not going to put it out. You might as well not even try.
So
And
if those are 75 feet across, then that's 2 million gallons.
Is that smoke going over the city?
That smoke has went to other countries.
It's in Finland.
It's in Finland, really?
Yeah.
Are you, no, that's unfortunate. That's a lot of nasty. That's pollution, man. They got to have poor air quality then in Finland. That's what they're
Finland
doing.
ISR was in the air yesterday, and they were seeing black clouds. I showed you last night. They had black clouds just for miles. I mean, we thought it was a storm cloud on the horizon, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it looked like a giant storm, but we were seeing it far away, so it was faded. And at night, you don't see it as clearly as being as dark. Yeah, well, that's got to put a terrible smell in the air.
Oh, absolutely.
But the wind
Not to
will
mention
shift
it.
towards the city eventually.
Yeah, and it's. I think it's shifting south at the moment. It's burning.
Yeah, footage of that one?
The prevailing winds are coming south. Do I have footage of that one?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
So So they've hit Novorossiysk, and now they're hitting this place. They've hit Sochi. They're hitting all the places where they ship the oil out from. They've even been hitting the oil carrying ships out of Novorossiysk. I noticed drones have been hitting those ships. It's all out war on the tanker fleet. You hit an apartment block in Kiev and we'll hit your oil. It seems that the Russians just aren't doing well in this war. A lot of explosions, huh?
I'm liking that. You're muted.
Sorry. Mr. Scott Ritter was talking about how the Russians are winning this war and the Ukrainians are losing it.
Yeah, they've been talking that way for more than 4 years, and here's the 5th year of the war, and they're still talking that way, huh?
Yeah, he said on day one that they were going to be done in 3 days.
Yeah, this is ISR in Finland.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, this is ISR in Finland. This is what we thought was a storm cloud. This is
it looks like a kind of a storm cloud, but I see. So this is looking from the south?
This is looking north to south, yeah.
Oh, this is looking north to south? Oh, then the cloud is
looking
moving
south.
Then this cloud is moving towards east.
This is moving.
This is moving east. If we're looking from the north, it's moving east, yeah.
Yeah, it's moving towards St. Petersburg.
Yeah, so it's moving towards the city. Okay. I thought so, because the prevailing winds are generally coming from the west.
I'm loving this.
Except for, I think, May and October, the wind is generally going to go that direction.
You wanted more of Primorsk. Here we go. If you're driving down the road, this is what you're seeing.
Oh, look at that. Pretty fires. Let's get the weenies out. Let's have a weenie roast. Got any?
Really?
They didn't like that.
Oh, well.
Leave the weenies out.
Oh, yeah, I said the bad word.
Yeah.
Rid of that one. Go there.
Is anybody watching any of these little clips?
Well, they're paying awful close attention because if I'm getting, or if we're getting kicked when I show those, then yeah.
Now you're over the target.
They got to make Scott Ritter look good by making sure we don't tease this stuff. Got to make their favorite child molester look like a Boy Scout.
Yeah,
Tass
Scott
did a big
the
interview with him
bullshitter.
the other day. Yeah, Tass did a big interview with him yesterday.
Whoa.
Yeah, they ain't happy right now.
Yeah, they got pretty mad. Vlad got mad.
Triggered. That's what somebody said in chat.
They're still mobilizing. They're still not stopping. They're not quitting.
No, and we were talking about that the other day. This training is not basic training. This is the soldiers that they're bringing up for this training isn't basic. This is additional training that they're giving these soldiers.
Sounds like it's not like they're cannon fodder this time. They actually want them to fight rather than just die.
I think they want to teach them how to use drones and shit.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense.
I think the Iranians are studying up on that right now. So the
are the
Iranians are
Chinese.
mobilizing 1 million men, huh?
1 million, yeah, as of an hour ago.
But they already have 300,000 in the standing army and 150 in the in the Revolutionary Guard Corps, and then they've got another, I think, 40,000 in the Basaj or Bashir or whatever they're called, that militia that puts down riots.
Biology, whatever that's called.
Yeah. So so the total, if you add the existing the existing 500,000 men that's 1.5 million men, right? If they're mobilizing 1 million, they've already got 500,000 or almost 500,000, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so they say they've got another 1 million they're calling up. Ooh.
That's big. So I guess they're going to head for Iraq.
Maybe.
What are you going to do with all those troops? It's a big army.
It is.
Made Iraq with that. Would Iraq join up with them? Would they make it to Basra, you think?
Maybe. It's hard to say.
I think they'd make it to Basra. I don't think the 82nd Airborne, if they actually wanted to launch an attack, are we running out of bombs, Lee?
Oh no, we're not anywhere near out of bombs. This has been one of the smartest bombing campaigns in the history of the world with what they've done with this one. So we used our real smart stuff in the very beginning to hit the stuff that's really hard to hit. Then once we got all of that stuff out of the way, we switched up, stopped using the expensive bombs, and went to dumb bombs with $60,000 guidance kits on them. And so now we're flying over and giving pretty close to high precision weapons grade delivery. We're still bringing it through the front door, except for now, instead of a fancy bomb or cruise missile, it's a 500-pounder that just fucking obliterates whatever we hit.
Now, I understand the Iranians.
And we got lots and lots of those.
So the Iranians are hitting the Israelis really hard today. Is that right?
Yeah, Israel was just under attack.
Yeah, attack a little while ago. Yeah,
you had the map up.
So they're continuing to lob missiles. They're continuing to send drones in. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed.
Yep.
And there's a toll that's coming if you want to pass.
If Trump is willing to work out a deal, he can get some for his own personal contribution.
I did see, and I don't know if there's any truth to it, but I heard that his son, Barron, I heard he bought 50 million in oil stocks the day before the operation took place.
Does that mean that Trump knew that the strait would be closed and that this is all he's purposely screwing our position up?
I'm just saying, if that's true.
Follow the money?
Then, yeah, if that's true.
Is it true? Can we verify that? Is that a fact?
I don't know.
Let me use the AI. Are we broadcasting now?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah,
we're live. We're live. Or soon to be dead.
Yeah,
but we're live now. For the moment, yeah. So
I was just told that if they wanted to end the war in Iran, they just need to ship in shipments of goats.
Oh, that won't work anymore.
Well, unfortunately,
there's too many Europeans there.
Unfortunately, we kind of missed our. We could have done this. It could have been the short, sweet thing that we were initially told about if we would have had everything on standby to send ground troops in, but we didn't. We thought the decapitation strikes were just going to magically work, and the government was going to surrender, and the people were going to rise up and take back control of their government. That's what they were told. That's what we were told. But that never happened.
The rumor has proved false about Trump investing in them.
As I said, I just heard it. I didn't know I didn't follow up on it. So
that's the thing about the internet age is that everybody lies. Yeah, they're all lying and making up. It's all ideology, including the triumphalism of our great win. The enemy should not count their chickens before they've hatched either. Nobody knows how wars turn out until they've turned out.
Yeah, no plan survives first contact with the enemy.
Yeah, that was von Moltke who said that. The famous Prussian general who won the Franco-Prussian War.
Lee, what do the Russians make in Smolensk? Do you know?
Give me a lat line.
It's the third largest city in Russia.
Yeah, I know it's a big place.
Uh,
Right there. I'm curious what they make there, because that city was just attacked.
well, like with Bryansk, they try to keep their important strategic production back in the Urals.
They do.
But then they make the
Krasnoyarsk is-
mistake of making chips and other things they don't think are so important in these other cities. So
I'm not sure that's.
could be something important for drones.
Well, no, they have an aviation plant in Smolensk.
Oh, they have it. What kind of aviation?
That's
Yeah,
what
it's
I'm wondering.
crazy.
I
My
don't know.
map took me to the middle of the Pacific.
I assure you, that's not in the middle of the Pacific.
Yeah, kind of the other side of the world, but
Yeah, that's crazy.
Can we do some map stuff? Because is that possible? Do you think we're going to get kicked? Because
Sure.
I'd like to go over the. I'd like to look at have everybody take a look at Russia's early warning system. I was able to get all those locations mapped out.
okay. Smolensk, it's an aviation repair facility.
Yeah. Well, that was just. Well, it was. It's
Yeah.
not anymore.
And it is also related to Tactical Missile Armament Corporation, specializing in manufacturing military components, including the KH-59 and the KH-101. Those are cruise missiles, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And repairing combat aircraft like the Su-25, and it also develops light passenger planes. It's located, for those sending drones, it's Front Street 74 Smolensk, south of the Smolensk North Airport. Not far from where they killed the Polish president.
What's going on with your map, Lee?
You tell me, and we'll both know. That's as far out as it'll let me zoom.
You got to be kidding me.
No.
Well,
I'll start again. There we go.
right. So I'm going to be dropping the latlons in. You don't need to open anything for this because I'm just going to send you the latlons directly. It's going to be a lot faster because these are not pinned out on the map anyway. So we're going to start in Kaliningrad. We're going to look at the command and control over there. I think you know right where it is anyway.
Kaliningrad.
Yeah.
Never heard of the place.
No, never heard of it. Yep, that's it right there. Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to
Lenin
start
was the
here.
famous president of the Soviet Union that Stalin used as a footrest.
Use the footrest. Right. So this facility here, we've gone over this time and again. This is part of their early warning system. This makes up all the anti-air, all the radars and everything within the enclave of Kaliningrad all comes to this facility here. This building that has the net around it that we believe is an office building is actually not. That's a giant radar is what it is. And you can see what look like windows. No, that's part of the radar array, and it looks in all four directions. Each one of these buildings, when they build them like this, each one has the ability to see 6,000 kilometers. So to put that into perspective, this can see to New York from where it sits, from the direction and the angle at which they've built it.
So if you have an ICBM, a mobile ICBM nearby, you can guide it into its target.
That's right. Yeah. So, Lee, do you want to explain the significance of how many different power grids they have coming into this and why that matters?
Yeah, because the more power you need and the more important the facility is, the more power systems that'll be fed to it. So this particular facility, number one, needs a lot of power. That's why it has its own independent power system ran to it, but not just one, but two separate grids feed this one facility. That way, if one grid goes down, it has another grid that it can pull from. And they built a new tower out here also. So there's two separate grids feeding this one facility here. And it's a massive facility when you look at the size of that radar array. I mean, I think that's 8 stories. So
Now let's
actually
count.
10 stories.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 stories. You got it.
Yeah. That's a
That's
big
big.
building.
That is a very big building. So what they've got in Russia, so there's the first lat line right there. That's a counterpart. All these systems are interconnected, right? All these things work. They're all synchronized together. So this next place, this is going to be just north of St. Petersburg. So it's going to be near Primorsk, where that nice oil depot used to sit. It's going to be about 90 kilometers from there. And you can see the difference in this one.
Yeah, that's a hell of an array there.
It is. I've added all these already, Lee, to our main map, so you don't have to worry about that. I just didn't send it to you.
All right, I see how you did me.
Well, I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, oh, okay.
The next one, the next one's not finished. It's even further north than that. They're putting it up along the Finnish border. I can show. Do you want to see that one? It's just a,
Yeah.
you know. All right, so give me just a second. Here we go.
And then they've got the one at north of Moscow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's separate, but that's not part of this network.
Right, right.
This network is on its own things. I've just pulled the network of their early warning system for this. That's countrywide. So we're going to be heading to different parts here in just a moment. But this is going to be, like I said, up further north. This is up by Murmansk. But it's not completed yet. They're just they've broken ground and they've started to build. But you know how Russian winters are; they're very harsh, and you don't have much time in the winter to actually construct anything that far north, or at that time in the off season, I guess, rather, because they have longer winters. And you have to hit your little history button because that'll give you the latest. So this is what it looks like now. And you can see the size of this facility. But
Yeah.
as I said, harsh winters. So, and it's long. So in the chat.
Oh, you weren't supposed to talk about that.
All right, I guess not, because that one's not done. I can't talk about that.
All right, let's get this.
The next one is in the chat. Did you get it? Or did you?
Yeah, I'm getting it out now.
before? All right. This one is going to be in Krasnodar Krai. This is the one that the Ukrainians have already hit. But it's still, the Russians have repaired it. It's back to, you have to get rid of the history, yeah. It's back to operational status. These two buildings here, obviously, that's the radar, the ones at the angle there.
Yeah.
But the Ukrainians have hit this site with drones, and they've flown the drones directly into those radar arrays. So they've put it out of commission for the time being, but or at least I think the Russians have got it back online now.
That's an Mi-26 helipad. Look at the size of that fucking thing.
Yes, it is. It's very large.
Wow.
The next one, again, different kind of facility, but part of the same network. And you notice the commonalities of these facilities. They may not be exactly like the other,
Right.
but they have all of the same, as in like the layout and the configuration, but they all have the same, pretty much the same hardware.
Right.
The difference here is this one, because of where it sets, you don't have, this is going to be looking north to south here. Or actually, I'm sorry, this one's going to be looking south. And then the other ones, we've got some that are up north that are currently in construction. There's a double one that's in construction up along the north, but it's not online yet. But this facility here, and you can see they're all the same. So can you explain the tower there to the left? So what the tower does and then what the radar itself does?
Yeah, they can link this is for communications, or if they wanted to do a beacon and hear it off of they could reflect it off of this. But I'm thinking this is primarily for communications itself. The radar array is the array. And so they're doing everything off of the array itself. So it's a huge array. This is like bigger than a basketball court up here.
Yes, that's massive. Well, you can see the size of the building the office building they've put there.
Yeah, it's almost the size of a football field. So massive array. And the Russians are putting them up all over the place.
Next is going to be, I think it's Barnaul is the name of the place. South of is it Barnaul? Yeah, Barnaul.
Oh yeah. See, that's got the tower, the buildings.
Yep.
So yeah. Yeah, almost an exact replica of what's in Kaliningrad.
Well, the next place we're going to look at is going to be an exact replica of what they have in Kaliningrad. We're going to have a more clear view of it because of where the sun is when the satellite flew over. And it's going to be there. This is out in the middle of Siberia. And where this one's going to sit, you're going to be able to see this. This will look all the way over into where it's positioned, is in-house position. You'll see here in a second. So this will be your exact replica. So the way that radar array is facing, that's facing directly over the North Pole. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you'll be able to see over into the Northwest Territories of Canada from there, from that distance. If you can just imagine, 6,000 kilometers. That's all the way over into So you can see everything from here. The way it's positioned, you can catch everything coming from Greenland. You can catch everything coming from the northern part of Canada, anything in the Arctic. And this will see all the way over to the Spanish and Portuguese border. That's how far west it will go. Now, all of these facilities, every one of them, they've torn out all of the old Soviet-era early warning systems, and they've replaced them with these. Okay? So that's why we see the one in Kaliningrad. That's why we see this one. That's why we see the other ones. All of these were built at exactly the same time. They started construction at exactly the same time on all these facilities so they could all be brought online simultaneously.
In 2014.
They all started construction in 2014. You got it. Every one of them.
Oh, and I forgot to give you guys the news of the week. So first it was 54 Russian sites were being improved. Then it was 74 Russian sites were being improved. Then it was 94 Russian sites and 26 airports. And when we researched it, they were just validating the work that we had already done.
Well, that was nice of them.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're listening.
Yeah.
Jeff, are you still there or did you leave?
No, I didn't want to crash you guys.
Oh, I see.
because you guys are going strong when I'm not there, but.
Yeah, well, you're doing all right now. So.
Yeah, we're just,
Yeah, you
we're
get the
looking at
thinker up.
This guy won't
We're looking
cause
at the thinker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at the thinker, and that will work. It won't crash.
Yeah.
There's one more site that's part of their early warning system, and I will get to that right now. And this this is the entire network that they've got. They've got other sites that they're not part of it, so they're kind of on their own leg. But that's not part of the main backbone of the system. So I've grabbed all these sites and mapped all of them out. So, and like I said, I've already added them to our main project. So we'll be able to watch the progresses, the ones that are not completed. We'll be able to watch that as it goes along. But this one's going to be a little bit different. This is going to have the two different arrays, and you're going to have to explain what these are so people understand.
All right, well, they're just looking in two different directions.
So it's the same. So one's not a broadcast and one's not a receiver.
No, they're looking in two different directions.
Okay.
Yep.
So this one's looking north, one's looking south.
One's looking northeast and the other's looking southeast.
Yeah, because this is in the bottom southeast part of the country.
Yep.
So they're going to be, yeah. So they can see pretty much everything from there. So everything that's, if it's 6,000 kilometers, the one at the north there, the one that's looking northeast, just to give you an idea, 6,000.
Well, these see a little bit more than a 45. They probably see about a 50 degree. And let me show you why I say that. If you start there, oops. You run that line all the way across there. Like that. You put that in there and you hit done. Okay. And then you see the angle of this right here. You'll see that that's more than a 90-degree angle.
I see.
And so that being at more than a 90-degree angle tells you that this array can see more than 45 degrees. Because they're not going to have a slit down through here. That's exposed.
The way that the one that's northeast is pointing. Take a guess as to what the limit of it is.
What do you mean the limit?
As in, if it's 6,000 kilometers from this position here.
Right.
Okay. So 6,000 kilometers from there, where do you think that's going to put you if you're looking northeast from that position?
U.S. somewhere.
You're right on the Alaska-Canada border, so this can see everything inside the state of Alaska.
Right.
This, I mean, literally on the money of the border
So
with Alaska and Canada.
Right there on the end again. Let me bring it right down through the middle of the end. So there you go. You can see that that's more than a 90-degree.
Yeah.
So this is probably about a 50 or a 60-degree panel, and that's about a 50 or a 60-degree panel. And that's how you can get that right there. Or excuse me. A 90-degree panel and a 90-degree. This is probably a 110-degree panel, and this is a 110-degree panel. Is what you're getting. So this is a 110-degree panel, and this is a 110-degree panel.
Okay. Well, that will make up the
Extra.
That'll make up the, well, yeah, that'll make up the extra. But that's their early warning system, all of it. So, but that's now part of our project, to be watching that. Do we want to start with Q&A? I know this, we've had disruptions, but.
Yeah. All right, so who's got questions? Only questions in the chat. If you put stuff in the chat other than questions, we'll just ban you for life. We don't care. We get enough questions as it is. So put your questions in the chat. Going once. Going twice.
No questions? I don't believe it.
I don't
How many
see
people are actually tuned in after all the interruptions?
294.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, not too bad. There was a day when it was 7,000.
Well, I have a question.
Andrew
Looking at this
Shedman.
fancy Russian equipment that we've been looking at, it looks pretty darn sophisticated and expensive.
It is.
This is what is this? What are these things? They cost billions a piece, don't they?
Each one of those facilities. So each one that we've looked at, I don't know about this particular one. I can run a cost analysis for this one, but on average, the one in Kaliningrad, the one in north of Krasnoyarsk, and the others, each one of these facilities averages about $2.5 billion to build.
I mean, what is this? A 12, 15-story building that is a radar?
10.
And that's massive. It's a 10-story
10.
building?
Yeah.
That is a massive structure. I mean, my
Yeah.
gosh, just to build it. I mean, the cost.
Yeah.
And-
So I think it was anywhere between 2.2 and 2.5 billion when I ran the cost down for each
Yeah,
one. And that's in dollars. That's not rubles.
Now, that is more expensive than those radars we're operating in the Middle East to help our missiles intercept the Iranian missiles. These are even more sophisticated.
Yeah.
Now, Lee, do these radars operate for shooting down ballistic missiles?
They operate for detecting and giving the coordinates. So, yeah, you could get information from these.
So these are part of their missile defense system as
Yeah.
well as maybe using them to
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah, early
things.
warning.
This is their early warning system.
So this is to intercept American and NATO missiles coming in, but they don't seem to be able to handle drones. Drones are too small.
They say, the Russians say, the Ministry of Defense, their official statement on this is, and I looked into that, their official statement on every one of these arrays and every one of these facilities is that it could see something the size of a football.
If it's calibrated to see them.
If it's calibrated correctly.
But if it's not, then it might not see a missile.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, that's
Or
my
drone,
understanding
yeah.
about radar is that it's difficult to see. You have to tune it to see what you're going to see. Right?
Yep. All right, so
Yeah.
we got some questions here. Let's see. Tell us more about Iran's move towards socialism. I wasn't aware that Iran was moving towards socialism. Were you? Backed by
Yeah,
popular demand looking for Iran on socialism.
See, you bring up an ideological question and that gets you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jeff. You were saying?
Are they hearing me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the Shiite version of the Ayatollah Khomeini is a socialist liberation theology Islam. So it's geared for helping the poor and going after capital. So it's not for the free economy, although all socialist countries have a form of market economy, market socialism, whatever you want to call it. So Iran's move towards socialism, the 1979 revolution was it. They really don't have a free economy there. They don't have freedom of speech.
All right. Let's see. What's the other one here? Has buildup in the Baltics still proceeding? Yes. And more news organizations are reporting it. In fact, they just verified what we were saying the other day. Can you see any way? Can we see any way of dissuading a war with Russia? I don't think so.
No.
I would have thought losing so many men in Ukraine would dissuade them, but it doesn't seem to.
No, John, we don't do quick delivery for KLW World News radios. You have to be a member for 6 months before you can order one. Could we gain advantage against Russia from Iran? Could this be a bonus for hitting Iran? Yeah, it's good to hit Iran. There's a lot of bonuses from hitting Iran.
There's a big negative in that Strait of Hormuz got closed, and that's
Yes.
going to affect the petrodollar and the dollar. And so the real question is kind of we've got to go in 100% now, because if we don't, and this stands, China will basically get the oil trade eventually, because they'll only allow ships to pass that pay in yuan and not in dollars. And that will cause massive hyperinflation here in the United States, or at least a very big inflation bump. And it could destroy the dollar as the trading currency, especially in oil. So we can't allow that to stand. And it's not really, we can't close the strait to the Chinese trafficker. We're committing an act of war against China. So that's why they discussed taking Karg Island. That's why they're bringing ground troops over. I hope that they realize that, I don't know if it's practical to have a ground war in Iran with the kind of air supremacy we have. Theoretically, a relatively small force can slog it out and can win if the Iranian army basically defects from the regime. The army is about twice as big as the Revolutionary Guard Corps, and it's always been a worry that it might break away and form the basis of a different political entity in Iran. All of these totalitarian regimes have a certain fear of the army. I suspect the army is heavily infiltrated by agents of the regime, so it's very difficult for the army to break away. This is what it would be predicated on. It may be very dangerous and costly to go in on the ground in Iran. But if that Strait of Hormuz remains closed, I can guarantee you the standard of living in America will fall and our economy will be in bad shape.
The Europeans as well.
And Japan. Definitely Japan will be hurt.
Yes. Yeah.
And I see it starting to get bad after about 90 days. I think the 30 days it's been closed is not that bad. But I think the closer we get to 90 days, the worse it's going to get.
Yeah, Neil Ferguson, who wrote The History of Money, he's an economic historian. He said sometime in April it's going to turn nasty economically. That was his estimate. He's probably one of the most knowledgeable people on the world economy that I can think of.
Let's see what else we got here. I don't know how many chemical complexes they operate, and I don't know if Jeff or Johnny knew that either. Didn't you say the U.S. knew about the new Russian equipment around the Baltics? They know about some of it, and NATO knows about some of it, but I was real surprised at some of the stuff that the U.S. didn't know about. So
we're a defensive organization, not an intelligence organization.
Yeah.
It's funny how when your mission statement it reads a certain way, you lose interest in anything that doesn't directly relate to bureaucratically to the mission statement.
sorry, to what degree is YouTube reporting on U.S. individual activities to Russia and China? I don't think they are. In fact, Russia banned YouTube. So,
Yeah, Russia's banned the internet.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the mobile internet is almost all the way down in Russia, and you've got limited use. They want Russians to use their apps, if they use any, but they're going back to the 80s, it seems like.
Nobody is running dangerously low on missiles or interceptors. We have thousands and thousands of them. And the bombs that we're dropping right now are dumb bombs with guidance systems strapped on. And we got tens and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of these dumb bombs with guidance systems.
Lee, have you taken a look at these new Chinese drone swarm systems? Have you seen these?
Play it. Let me see. Talking about the one in the box and it sends out a bunch of them at once?
Yeah, this is it here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, okay.
If they put explosives on all of them and they send them after something, it's going to be a bad day because they can just stack them in there.
Yeah. How many, each one of these tubes, how many can they get in there on average?
Oh, probably 20.
You're kidding me. That many?
No. Yeah. Oh, that's a bigger drone there.
So maybe 2 or 3 in each tube?
No, one per tube in that.
One per tube?
The that's not the same as the one there's another one that's similar to that has quadcopters stacked on top of each other.
Oh, I see.
And they can be launched out of it. They can't come back in and land on it, but they can be launched out of it.
Yeah.
That's a bigger drone, yeah. I was thinking of the one with the small quadcopters. That video is going around somewhere too. And they can put about 10 of those quadcopters per tube. So you're looking at 1,000 drones out of that box in a 10 by 10. So box fan would deliver 1,000 drones.
We will never drop as many bombs on Iran as we dropped on Vietnam, and we lost that war. We dropped 7.5 million tons of bombs on Cambodia, Laos, and North Vietnam, South Vietnam.
Yeah, but the vast majority of those were dumb bombs.
Well, that's what we're dropping now.
No, we're dropping dumb bombs with strap-on guidance systems to make them smart bombs.
Right.
So
but it's a fraction of the amount of bombs we used in Vietnam, and I think
with greater result.
Maybe with a similar result.
No, the accuracy of what we're delivering now is by far. When Vietnam, we'd fly over in a B-52 and not hit a fucking thing but rice paddies. With what we're dropping now, we're hitting.
I'm sure we're missing things now.
Not that often, though. Not like we did in Vietnam.
We hit that school and killed all those schoolgirls.
Right, but that's one bomb out of 10,000.
Oh, I think there were several bombs we dropped on them, but
only
there
saw
are
one,
mistakes.
but-
There are targeting mistakes.
Yeah,
They're all-
absolutely. I'm just saying it's not like it was in Vietnam. I think we're getting a much, in Vietnam, I'd say we're lucky to actually hit something 1 in 10 bombs. Here,
Well, I think we stopped one of the main thrusts of the Easter offensive with an airstrike, and I think our use of bombing in Vietnam was really effective. We were eradicating whole divisions of neutralizing whole divisions of NVA troops on certain strikes. But my point is that attacking things from the air and destroying things. Look, in each one of their offensives, the Vietnamese lost hundreds of thousands of men, and they would come back for more. They would always regenerate and come back for more. Unless we actually occupied the north, we were going to continue to get assaults from the north. I think that's the way it worked. It didn't matter, you could go on, it was a 20-year war, you could keep going and keep going. They fought the French. They fought us. They fought the Army of the Republic of Vietnam. I think that 7.5 million tons counts for some hits, right? And I don't think it's fewer hits than we're doing now in terms of damage. I think a lot of damage was done to the Vietnamese military, but I think what we underestimate is the size of these militaries. You look at the German military in World War II, the amount of bomb damage that they sustained and kept going. Even launching the Ardennes offensive in 44, going into 45. I think that nobody's ever won a war just with air power before, in terms of if the other side is determined to hold. Now, people like John Mosier are saying, no, these precision weapons make it different. You can do it just with air power. But without following the regime. I mean, we had to go in to actually dig out Saddam Hussein and hang him by the neck after trying him. That is the only thing that, drive a stake through it. That's what ended that regime. I think the Iranian regime is similar. It didn't matter how many bombs we dropped on Saddam. His regime didn't collapse. I think the same thing, North Vietnam didn't collapse. I think if Iran collapses, it'll be a new game in warfare. It will mean that you can do this with precision ordnance, but I have to be skeptical because it has never been done before.
This is just coming out. The president of Iran has just posted this on his X account. He says, President Putin's messages and support of the Russian people inspire us in this war. The resistance and courage of the Iranian people promise new bonds that will ensure the security of East Asia through the countries of the region. On behalf of the people of Iran, I thank the government and the people of Russia.
East Asia.
East Asia. The security of East Asia.
The president of Iran said this?
Yes.
East Asia.
Yes.
North Korea and China.
You got it.
Yeah, he's talking about a good old Alexander Dugin's Eurasian alliance, Eurasian system.
Did you see Alexander Dugin on video today?
I didn't see him. What did he say today? Anything new?
Hold on. Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Or the same old stuff he always says?
Where is it?
He's been remarkably active, and he's been doing a lot in English lately. Of course, he's got his fanboys.
Well, he's got an audience over in the Eastern Europe and Western Europe and the United States.
Yeah, he does. He's got an audience here, even though he wants to kill us all. He's got an audience. Did they bother to tell his audience that
it's Carthage? Don't you know? It's
Carthage. We're Carthage. What did they do to Carthage? Oh, they killed everybody in Carthage.
Here he is. As soon as I saw this, I thought about you.
The United States is on the edge of the radical collapse. So that is superpower, hyperpower that is collapsing. That is agony of it. And we need to understand that well. We should not be hypnotized by the real situation in the United States. They are in very, very bad situation. And hence, they radical and extremist actions. So they have the problem with Epstein elite. They have the problem with economy. They have the great problem with the state of the moral United States. This is decaying society in the last stage of decay. So we need to follow that. We need to understand that. We need to study it. We need to have the correct, realistic understanding of what is going on in the United States of America outside of their propaganda, and maybe outside of our own propaganda. So we have to have a very correct, realistic understanding of American society, because from that depends almost everything in the world. So we need to try to reach the people of real MAGA, or the core MAGA, who share with us our general ideological, geopolitical, metaphysical vision of multipolarity, because the MAGA accepted multipolarity. Trump has betrayed MAGA and has thrown away multipolarity, has declared the war to multipolarity. So, but not MAGA. So we need to follow people like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, Andrew Neapolitano, Larry Johnson, Jackson Hinkle, and great, absolutely great.
I think he tried to say Larry Johnson there.
I think he did too.
Next time for our conference, he is very great. So we need to reach to these non-conformist MAGA people in the United States who have a very similar vision of what are the real priority to save America, to save the world, to save the West, to save the East, and so on. So we have immense amount of our friends in the United States of America. MAGA movement has made a rise of them. They help to them to reappear and to become important influencers, important power inside of American society. Now they are leading anti-Israeli line, and that coincides geopolitically with our vision of things. So that is very important. So, but
yeah, we get the idea.
This is the same stuff he always says. And furthermore, America must be destroyed. And thank you, Tucker Carlson and Scott Ritter and Douglas McGregor and Larry Johnson for facilitating the destruction of America.
You forgot Jackson Hinkle.
No Jackson Hinkle. I don't even know if he's really an American. Do you think he was maybe not even born here?
Probably not. No, he lives in Moscow now, I think, doesn't he?
I hope he does. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
A communist MAGA guy. But this is the way it is. I mean, people got to understand. Dugin has taken the basic communist line and he's turned it into a right-wing version of communism without using the word communism or anything. And he's used the word traditionalism. So he's trying to appeal to religious people. And of course, it's really structurally the same as the communist idea. And of course, he was recruited by the KGB in the 1980s. His father was a GRU colonel. Some say his father might have been a general, might have gotten the promotion to general, but he worked with the Russian general staff in formulating this Eurasianist strategy, and a lot of the ideas he's using now are platformed by the Russian military and GRU.
Technically, he should be dead right now, but instead they got his daughter.
Yeah, it's hard to know what that was all about, whether the Ukrainians did try to kill him or not, and they got his daughter by mistake. Daria Dugin, his daughter, was a broadcaster and was a social influencer in her own right. There are some people who say that her daughter was starting to ask questions and starting to move away from the state line, and that she had an unusual boyfriend that some people think was the one who planted the bomb, and that he looked like he probably worked for the Russian Special Services.
I do have one question, and that right there makes me wonder, right? Because we're skeptical. We have to look at all these things. I want to know why the car was switched at the last minute, right? Mm-hmm. So that we know of. Also, all of the security cameras that were in the area that would have caught any of it were all not working that night.
Yes, yeah. It would be unusual if the Ukrainians could have pulled all that off. And right. It isn't really, the Ukrainians have been assassinating generals and people who associated with the bloodletting in Ukraine. And of course, they might think that he has blood on his hands. He's been very anti-Ukrainian propagandist. So it is possible the Ukrainians did, but the story that the Russian services told about who did it and how they did it, it seems so improbable. It just seems like an inside job. And,
you've got people going around now inside Russia that are they're torching. I saw these reports, and I'm hearing people are telling me this. They're torching ATMs. They're burning banks. They're burning gas. They're blowing up gas stations. And
Are they really in Russia? Huh.
And they're burning cell towers, cell sites down. And of course, the Russian government is saying, well, this is all coordinated by Ukraine. These are all networks that are coordinated.
Well, it's very possible too that there's a provocation, that the FSB decided to kill his daughter to create a martyr, a figure of sympathy. Because if you look at this funeral was publicized, and he spoke at this funeral of his daughter. They had an open casket, but that really wasn't her that you see. They had a mask, a lifelike mask of her put over her corpse, or it might not have even been her corpse there, because she got burned pretty bad in that explosion. But he, this made him really a more popular, sympathetic figure in Russia. He's an intellectual mainly. He didn't have that much of a popular reach, but it really increased his stature, his daughter's death. In a way, Russia benefited from that death in terms of mobilizing public support for the war.
Could the same be said about Navalny?
About killing Navalny?
Yeah.
Well, they did it very smart. Navalny was a person who was very loved in Russia. He was very active, but in jail, in the Gulag, he had health problems. He died of his health problems. That's quite obscure. Doesn't get it. The publicity is muted, but at his funeral, you will notice a huge number of people turned out and even defied the punishment that might fall on them for waiting in line and showing their respect for him. A huge number of people. So there is an undercurrent in Russia of people who despise this regime. How big it is, the system is run by people who are largely, and this was described to me by people inside the system, young people, climbers, opportunists, people who say, I don't care, I just want to be successful. I just don't want to be poor. And they know the stark alternative in Russia. Poverty is not a very nice life in Russia, right? So people make this choice and they go along with the system. And there's a lot of cynicism there. How much this cynicism will last as the popular support for this war is eroded, it's hard to say. But it's right now, Putin is pushing in a very, very dangerous direction towards this larger war, and he has to somehow mobilize public opinion in a way he hasn't before. So how is he going to do this? Well, look at the American imperialists bombing Iran, and who knows what provocation they'll do next to try to win back the Russian public.
Yeah, and they've just on cue, they've got a big interview with Scott Ritter and TASS yesterday talking about how Russia's winning this war, and the Ukrainians are pulling off these drone attacks, and they're saying that this is a provocation to get the U.S. involved in the Ukraine war even further. So this is to draw public opinion on the side of the Americans into the Ukraine war, which causes a further provocation for the Russian side. But he says that Russia doesn't need to take the bait for it. I'm just telling you what he says in the interview.
Well, the Russians are claiming to mourn civilian casualties. Of course, it's very minimal. The Ukrainians aren't trying to kill civilians, but of course they are attacking arms plants and factories and management offices. So they are killing.
They're hitting legit military targets.
Yeah,
whereas the Russians are hitting. He's back. All right. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Lee, we're probably going to have to wrap up here. So
Yeah.
is there anything else?
No, there was a
Any more
couple other
questions?
questions, but it's just it's absolutely insane. We'll try my server next week,
Yeah.
and I'll get my guys to check on it over the weekend.
Yeah.
So
All right. Apologies to everybody again. So, but we're trying to get all the kinks and the bugs worked out.
So somebody really wants to spend money to stop us from broadcasting.
Yeah.
sure looks like it. So I said
Right.
it's access violation. JRNyquist, a bug caused the crash. One time we went through the system. I'm perfect. The server is perfect. We can't find anything wrong anywhere. Yes, it is crazy what the cursor does when it's trying to connect.
And you guys didn't have any problem on Monday.
No, worked
No, had
perfectly.
no problem. No. And you and I had no problems yesterday.
Yep, it's just when the three of us get together, world goes to shit.
That's weird.
Yeah, but we're gonna keep working on it.
All right.
We'll get it worked out.
Yep, we'll
So,
figure it
thanks
out.
everybody for being patient. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks everybody for being patient.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
That's all, folks.
Are we off the air?
1 second.